station. You can do it together. Good evening. So you're all coming from different places? Jerusalem, how many? Jerusalem. Tel Aviv? More. Then? Haifa? Anyway. I don't know the names. So you're all Buddhist? How many you are Buddhist? Others, you have been listening to Buddhist teaching also before? I'm just asking. It's not important whether you're Buddhist or not. Okay, so it is my great pleasure to come here and meet all of you. I do not know whether I know anything better than you, but it is always a good idea to sit together, come together and discuss what we can together do to make our life more peaceful and more happy. That's a worthwhile project, very important project. So today I'm here to speak on the mind training. Great teachers like Buddha or Atisha, who is the source of this mind training teaching, they have all contemplated and thought about what is the main source for long-lasting peace and happiness. This is a crucial. We can talk about so many things, but there are few things which is very important. It's important to really find out what could be the long-lasting source for peace and happiness. Why? Not because it is said by Buddha or by any other teacher, but because that is what we want. After coming into this world, the first thing that a child does is crying, not laughing, not smiling, crying. Okay? So by crying, the child is asking something. The child is not asking for a long teaching on Buddhism at that time, or any other religion. That's for sure. But the child is asking something. So what do you think the child is asking? Child is saying that I'm not very happy. Somebody please help me. Somebody please give me love and affection. That's what the child is saying. That's how we originated our life. We started our life. Of course, the child has a lot of suffering because he has no cloth on his body when he came into this world. He did not speak any language. Today, if we are not able to speak a second or third language, we say, oh, I know only Hebrew and don't know any other language. So big problem, you see. But that child did not know any language. The only language he had was crying. So that's important, how we started our life. The child is not asking for any religion. The child is asking for long-lasting peace and happiness. He's looking for that. Or at least he's asking for peace and happiness. And for that he's saying that somebody has to give me love and affection. At that time, I don't think he's saying that I'm in trouble, so I need some money. I don't think he's saying that. He's not saying I need wealth. He's simply saying I need somebody's unconditional love and affection. That is how we started our life. And this is something we need to remember. That by nature, we all want happiness and do not want suffering. Not only that, and I have asked this question not only here in Israel, I have asked this question in many parts of the world. Do you all want happiness? Everybody said, yes, sir. For how many days? For how many days you want happiness and peace? Then they laugh. Because by laughing they are saying, Geshe, when it comes to happiness, it's not question of few days. We want as much happiness as possible. So that's our nature. That's our inner call. So this being the case, we need to address this issue. And we have the capacity to address this issue. Because when we talk about human beings as the crown of creation, in the language of some other religions, or precious human life, in Buddhist language, when we address human beings like that, we are basically saying that human life is precious, not because it's very agile, or very strong, or very big, but because we have this great human intelligence, the capacity to judge between what is right and what is wrong. Okay? So now if we do not use this human intelligence to get that long-lasting peace and happiness, instead we focus only on material development. We use all our energy only for material development. Then that is a misplaced trust. That's what we are doing today. And that's why we are not getting enough peace and happiness. We are in search of it, but we are searching in the wrong direction, so therefore we are not getting it. If the gold mine is here, you need to search for gold here, not here, where there is no gold. So we are searching in the wrong place. This is very important. So mind training means changing your mental perspective, your mental outlook, how you see the reality. That's called mind training. Mind training means adjusting your mind or understanding the way things are, the reality. Because you cannot cheat reality. You cannot cheat law of nature. However clever you might think you are and try to cheat the law of nature, you will never be able to cheat it. You have to follow in line with the law of nature. That's what mind training is about. And mind training is important because, as I said, that we want not only happiness and peace, but we want long-lasting peace and happiness. Now you have to explore this. Not only listening to the teaching, but you need to explore from where do you think you will get that long-lasting peace and happiness. From money? No, you need to ask this question to yourself. From money? Do you think you'll get that long-lasting peace and happiness from a big building and lots of money? No, you need to think and answer. Think carefully. The important thing is not talking so much, but we need to think, Think and find the reality out. Then live one's life in accordance with that. I'm not saying that you will get nothing from money. I'm not crazy. I'm not saying that you will not get some kind of peace and happiness from your friends and relatives. What I'm saying is, do you think you will get the reliable, long-lasting peace and happiness? The fleeting peace and happiness you will get from material objects, from friends, from relatives. But the most reliable, long-lasting peace and happiness you will not get from outside of you. What is outside of you? Money, house, cars, families, friends. Whatever is outside of you, that cannot be the source of long-lasting peace and happiness. You know why? Why?
It's not last.
Huh?
It's not last.
There are several reasons. The most important reason is that what is outside of you, you have no control. However good your husband is, your wife is, normally we say, when you are coming with your wife, then you introduce your wife by saying, "This is my boss." And the wife says, points to the husband, "This is my boss." But nobody can be boss in the real sense of the term. There's no way you can control them. You try, yes, that's what we are trying. We apply force, we try to control each other, we try to control the nature, we try to control other human beings. That's what every country is doing, that is what every individual is doing. But it's not possible. So what is outside of you? For example, the trees, you like beautiful trees, beautiful flowers. But do you think that this flower and tree is growing for you? Do you think they are there to entertain you? All these people sitting around are there to entertain you? We sometimes misperceive and think like that, but the reality is that they have their own life. You can appreciate things, but they cannot be the source for your long-lasting happiness. They cannot. But you can do one thing. So what I'm saying is you cannot control what is outside of you. But you can do one thing. Even though you cannot control what is outside of you, but you can control your mind. How would you react to the changing situation? How would you react to the changing situation? It's in your control. That's under your control. How would you react to the changing situation? That's under your control. That is crucial. most of the time we suffer because we do not know how to forget about acting, but we even don't know how to react. We either try to control others or let others control us. Therefore, we are unable to get what we want. So therefore, the trick is to fine-tune your perspective of seeing the changing situations, changing relationships, changing circumstances. By adjusting your mind to the way things are, to the law of nature, by understanding the law of nature, it will make a huge difference. There's one Tibetan teacher who said that there is nobody who will catch hold of your hand and throw you into heaven. Even Buddhas cannot do this. There's nobody, however bad, who will catch hold of your leg and drag you into hell. Nobody can do that. The worst the enemy can do is destroy your body, but they cannot even destroy your mind. So therefore, your peace, your happiness and your suffering is in your hand. Therefore, do not cheat yourself. That's what this Buddhist teacher says. Your happiness and your suffering is in your hand. Therefore, do not cheat yourself. Therefore, do not cheat yourself. When your friend or somebody cheats you, you feel miserable. You feel very sad. Oh, my friend cheated me. I trusted him so much. He cheated me. That's what we say, you know. But how about you're cheating yourself? How many times you have cheated yourself? So these Buddhist teachings are saying, enough is enough. Stop cheating yourself. Stop fooling yourself. We are cheating ourselves because we want long-lasting peace and happiness, but we are all we are doing is to get temporary happiness, peace, and closing our eye to the long-lasting peace and happiness. Cheating. We are not even able to take care of our physical health because so much cheating is going on. Your tongue says, oh, I like sweet. The doctor says, oh, your health need is not sweet. It is very harmful. But still your tongue says, I need sweetness. Says, okay, do some cheating, you know. Eat some sweet or something sour and things like that. So that's how we behave. So in that level we are, that the Buddhas, they call us my children. My children, you know, we think we are grown-up people, very intelligent. I'm professor, doctor, engineer. But from Buddha's viewpoint, we are still children, not knowing what to do, how to think. So therefore, the first thing is, do not cheat yourself. If you don't cheat yourself, then there is a reason to say that I don't like people cheating me, because I also don't cheat myself. But if you keep on cheating yourself all the time, then say, oh, I don't like other people cheating me. It's hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy. So the first lesson for spiritual practice, Buddhist practice, for development of health, happiness, peace, whatever you want to call it, the first and most important thing is that you need to do the job. Not waiting for others to do it for you. You need to do the job. You know? We meet some friends, have a cup of tea together, and then we separate. And when we separate, what do we say? Bye, take care. Nobody says, bye, I will take care of you. Nobody says that, you know. Bye, take care. That's Buddha's teaching. Bye, take care. You need to take care of yourself. Nobody says, bye, I will take care of you. Bye, take care. You see? That's Buddha's teaching. Why take care? Take care of your mind, take care of your body, take care of the negative emotions, and make sure that they do not disturb you and destroy you. See? So therefore, the Buddha said, self is the protector of the self. No one else can be the protector. Likewise, self is the enemy of the self. No one else can be the enemy. Self is the enemy of the self. No one else can be the enemy in the real sense of the term. Because the hatred, the anger, the jealousy, and all the negative emotions that you have within your mind is cultivated by you, not by others. They are not implanted in your mind by others. They are cultivated by you. And therefore you are destroying yourself. Anger destroys your physical health, mental health. Jealousy, hatred and so forth, they destroy your physical health, mental health. And who created these negative emotions? No one else but by yourself. It's you. So therefore, enemy is somebody who harms you, your friends, your relatives. So these negative emotions are harming you, harming your relation with other people, harming the health and wealth of yourself. So they are the enemy. They are the enemy. So where is this enemy? The negative emotions, where are they?
In our mind.
Huh?
In our mind.
In our mind. See, that is the risk. Unlike those enemies, ordinary enemies, however bad they are, they come from outside. They come from outside. So we can prepare something to fight them. Or we can run away from them. Or we can say, okay, I submit, please treat me nicely, I'll do whatever you do. They might spare your life. Because they are from outside. But your negative emotions are number one, in your mind. Number two, you have this tendency to think, or tendency of thinking that whatever is in your mind is good. Even anger, it's your anger, so you try to justify it. Even jealousy, it's my jealousy, so it should be okay. That's the problem. That's the problem. I sometimes give a talk on smelly socks. Smelly socks. Smelly socks means, it's a good example I thought. Like if my socks is torn out and smelly, but still I will take it out and sniff. Because it is my socks. If it is somebody else's socks, it may be brand new, just bought from the market, still you say, oh, socks. See? This is our attitude, you see. Rings the bell. That's the thing, you see. So therefore, the main thing that is taught in this text, 7 points on mind training, is how to fight with this self-cherishing attitude and the self-grasping attitude. That's the main point. That's the main point. So therefore, few things you need to know is that, one, much of the unhappiness, much of the suffering or problems that we encounter in our life, most of it is our own making. That is the first lesson you need to know. Is our own making. If you are somebody who has started thinking that I am full of problems, full of sufferings, 100% suffering, if you are somebody who is thinking like that, but if you analyze carefully, then you will find out of the 100% suffering that you thought you are afflicted with, 70% of that is not even suffering. It's not even suffering. It is your mind made up. So if you sit down, calm down and think carefully, 70% of your suffering will be gone like this. If you, without tension, if you relax and maintain your awareness, think carefully and peacefully, then you will find that out of the 100% suffering which you thought you're afflicted with, 70% of, around 70% of it is not even suffering. If it is your mind made up. So when you sit down and think carefully, 70% of your suffering will disappear like this. So that makes you left with only 30%. See? Already 70% of your suffering is gone. So now you have only, say, around 30% of suffering. Now out of this 30% of suffering, the remaining 30% of suffering, 20% of suffering or problems are sufferings, but they are changeable sufferings. So instead of sitting there complaining and feeling miserable, if you find the ways and means to remove them, because they are changeable suffering, you can change those sufferings. You can remove those sufferings. You need to work, but you can change those sufferings. So you are able to remove another 20% of suffering. So in this way you are able to remove 90% of your suffering and problems. So how much is left now? Only 10%. Now the remaining 10% of suffering are such stubborn sufferings that you cannot do anything with it. There's nothing you can do with that. So what should you do? What should you do? You should say, go ahead with you, I don't care. For example, what I'm saying is, for example, if you have lost your left leg, but your right hand is intact, is it good to feel miserable for the rest of life, thinking all the time about the missing hand? Oh, I wish I had the left hand. Oh, I don't have it. I'm so bad, I'm so unfortunate. Is it better to keep on thinking about the missing hand, or is it better to think about the right hand which is there? Of course, it's much better to think about the right hand. And you can think about that by thinking that, okay, I don't have the left hand, but I have the right hand, which is the stronger hand. You see? And not only that, there are many people who don't have both the hands, both the legs. I'm not making it up. There are many people who have lost all the limbs. So comparing to that, I'm really lucky, I'm fortunate, you see. I'm lucky and I'm fortunate. Does that make some sense? So what I'm saying is, if it is a problem and a suffering about which you cannot do with it, there's nothing you can do with that, then don't waste your time. Then don't waste your time thinking about it. For example, my missing left hand, if I just keep on thinking about it, will my left hand come back? It will not come back, you see. So it's useless, wastage of time. So better think about the right hand and many other good things you can do, you see. Clear?
Yes.
So that is the meaning of changing your perspective. Makes a huge difference. That's why I'm saying much of the suffering that we are encountering is unnecessary suffering. We are suffering because of ignorance. We are suffering because of strong self-cherishing attitude, thinking all the time, I, me, I, me, mine, I, me, mine, I, me, mine. Some years back, I attended a conference with His Holiness the Dalai Lama in New York. So there was a presentation by a scientist with data, and he said, those people who make a lot of self-references, I, me and mine all the time, these people are prone to all kinds of diseases, including heart attack. Heart attack. And this is exactly what is said in the Buddhist teaching, that you get entrapped in the samsara or cycle of existence because of this grasping to I, me and mine. Why? Because